One of my first loves has been music. I'm Mood Juice Magic, and I need to take a break from the slop tube, the politics, all that stuff, and talk about something that always inspired me, i.e., music. Now, I want to dedicate this particular video to a gal named Shad. Uh, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but Shahd. She's really awesome. She's a customer service rep for a company I was dealing with earlier, and she has mentioned wanting to learn to play instruments. So I said, hey, I'll make a video showcasing some of the instruments that I have. I cannot showcase all of the instruments that I have because I have a lot. Now, I am not by any stretch a great musician. Do not misunderstand me. Music is amazing, but I want to kind of break things down and go through a few of the ones that I have here and talk about them a little bit in case you're into that kind of thing. Some people are nerds like me who really love music. Now, I do want to give a big shout out to Mantoba's 2 Street Music in Eureka, California. They have been a long-time sponsor of my podcast, Vanishing Gates, I think about 10 years. I haven't been doing any recordings of that lately, but we will be starting that again very soon. So if you haven't checked out Vanishing Gates, we're on YouTube, Vanishing Gates. Like disappearing fences. Think about it that way. Now, one of the first instruments I learned to play was the harmonica. I keep at least 3 harmonicas with me, but this is my main goat. My main gauche, if you were a fencer. This is my G key harmonica because I'm a huge fan of Blues Traveler, and it's a simple, easy move back and forth. I also have a C. This one I think I got from Alcatraz. It's a Hohner. And this one is a Hohner Blues Band in the key of E, I believe. I don't pay attention because I don't play these guys very often. But I do play my key of G all the time. This is a Fender Blues Deluxe, I believe. Yes, here we are. Now, I have built guitars. I have custom-made guitars for people. I have repaired instruments over the years because I wanted to learn about luthergy or the repair of acoustic instruments or building instruments in general. I'm not great. There are a lot of great people out there that do that. Me, I'm more of a pick and pull. So you'll see a few instruments in the background once in a while. Some of them are in need of repair that haven't been done yet. And speaking of 2 Street Music, my buddy Anthony, one of the owners there, I asked him, hey, do you have any instruments there that need repair that you guys don't have time to deal with so I can teach my kids how to do it? Hopefully, he hooks us up. Maybe I'll make videos showing how to repair some of these instruments. In the meantime, I kind of want to go over some of the stuff that I have here and explain where they came from. Let's start with, I know there's a lot. I'm surrounded. You guys can't see all of it. This thing here. This has been a project of mine. This guitar, a Strat style guitar body now, has had many iterations of life. You see the copper plate here. Old school wiring stuff, not the greatest. I ran a piezo in this, a piezo pickup. Basically by that I mean we used to have a Radio Shack when that was still a thing. I bought a doorbell magnet, a piezo magnet, and I made that into a pickup for this guitar when it still had the neck on it and other electronics. Now I have carved the hell out of this guitar. I would never carve out the centerpiece again. Here, sorry, camera. Because I like stability inside of my sustain. I want my guitar to work well. My big inspiration that told me I could make guitars, or at least toy with them, was Eddie Van Halen. And he had this amazing Ibanez Explorer. And he did this thing where he cut into the body of it way too deep. One of the most famous guitars on the planet. And he had to add stuff to it to try to add the sustain back because he took away from the butt end of it. You want a solid pass through between your tuning up top, your bridge below, and afterwards for sustain. Well, I learned that after I had already carved this thing out here, and I started doing a 3-dimensional carving by hand. A little vine work there. I never finished it because this guitar was a cheap guitar in the first place, and I used it as an experiment. I played it quite a bit, but it wasn't the first guitar I built. I don't even know where the body for that is. That one's also missing its neck. The neck is somewhere, the body is somewhere. But that thing was a Telecaster style body, and it had deep scalloped necks, i.e., Yngwie Malmsteen. And I mean, I scalloped all of the neck down to the frets, all the way down until about the 18th fret. Scalloping basically means you cut out into the fretboard between the frets. And you can get a little more staccato out of it, a little more pitch control. You can do vibratos a little easier, but it also weakens the integrity of the neck because you're taking away some of the structure. Anyway, other luthiers will argue with me on that. I don't care. It's my experience. Now, I adopt things like violins. My oldest daughter plays violin. We probably have 7 or 8 violins in the house. This one is missing strings. This is one of the practice violins. Also, Mantoba's 2 Street Music. I usually get my violins from there, and then we upgrade them. This one has not been done recently, and it will be. We added the fine tuners on it, and we have more work to do on other ones. The bow, on the other hand, the violin bows, if you see the hair, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, the hairs are breaking off. I have not learned how to rehair a violin bow, mostly because I don't have horses, and a lot of people use horses, at least the hair from their tails, to make these. This may be synthetic, though. I'm not sure, because I don't know. If you teach orchestra or band or music, or you're a violinist, please let me know what the new thing is, if there is a new thing. Now, I cannot play violin. I have tried. I cannot seem to quite get the bow correct with it. I can play drums, piano, guitar, banjo, mandolin, ukulele, hammered dulcimer, which I do not have, lap dulcimer, barely play harmonica. I barely play anything, guys. I'm not great. I'm like a Mickey Mouser. I get in, I do small things, I fill in noise. I'm like elevator music, background noise. I'm not great. Then we have a banjo. I have a few instruments here from people that have passed away that were close to me. This was my friend Brian's banjo. I can't show you the drum kit because it's too messy in the back of the studio, but I have a full drum kit back there that was also Brian's. It became my kid's drum kit, as this is going to be my kid's banjo. And a couple of these other guitars, actually. He passed away recently. It was very sad, but I didn't know how to play banjo. So I had to teach myself how to play banjo. Now, I can't do the runs and riffs, but I can do, like, dueling banjos to a degree. So open G tuning. Stuff like that. So we got a banjo here. Again, lots of guitars. The mandolin is not tuned, but I'm going to pull that up next. Well, what's this? Savannah mandolin. Also from 2 Street Music. Thank you, Anthony. You rock. This is not tuned. I have not tuned this thing, so I don't play it very often. It's strung in courses. Courses means that you have multiple strings tuned the same way. So, whereas a guitar, if you're looking from here down, would be E, A, D, G, B, E in standard E tuning. This is tuned the other direction like a violin, where it only goes to 4 strings of tuning. So E, E, A, D, G, that way. So instead of that way, it's that way when you're holding it. So it's like a violin, you're holding it like this. A guitar, you're holding it like this and strumming your G's this way. That's a lot of words. I know it's confusing. But these 2 strings here are EE when they're tuned. DD. EE, AA, DD, GG. These courses, these secondary strings, the drone strings, they're drones. They drone. If you see a sitar, they're strung in drones. They have a lot of drone strings. They have a lot more strings. Now, I do not have a sitar. I would love one. I would love to learn to play one. One day, I will learn to play sitar or I'll die, and I won't because life happens. Anyway, moving along to the next part. We have more violins. Saxon violins, right? That's how you get TVMA rating. Oh, wait, that's sex and violence. I kind of like both those things too. More violins. I have more in the house too. I couldn't take everything out, guys. Now, another thing we're working on, me and the kids, this is a serious project that we're taking on. This is a cello we're working on. This is going to be serious illusory work. Re-hide gluing this thing, putting it back in place, and making sure all the tuning is correct. I do have the bridge and everything else you need to hold things in place in a bag and the tuning pegs in the house. So this is sitting out here until we get a chance to actually work on it. But I don't want to work on it until the kids are available. I may actually add a custom built piezo pickup to this so it can be played electric style. Now, a couple of my other instruments that I have, especially my favorites, we have my go-to guitar. Now this is a gift I got from my espoused. Not from 2 Street Music. I don't know where she bought it from, but it's Michael Kelly guitar made in Korea. Great acoustic, great sound. It has lasted me a very long time. I haven't tuned it lately because I haven't been playing it that much. I've been doing a lot of other things, making YouTube videos. But this thing has always served me very well. And it keeps a good tune. Michael Kelly makes a great instrument. Then moving on to my other Michael Kelly, because I have multiple. I have 2 actually. Multiple, 2, whatever. This guy here. What a beautiful top this guy has, right? And it is a wonderful guitar. I need to adjust the intonation on the neck. I need to adjust the truss rod a little bit. But I also need to rewire it because the downside is the potentiometers, the pots, the tuning pots and the volume pot, there's a short somewhere in here. So it doesn't play quite right. So I have to rewire this and resolder everything. What I think I'm going to do is add some DiMarzio pickups to it, which I will be buying from Anthony Mantova at 2 Street Music in California. They're not paying me for this. I'm just throwing that out there because he's my buddy and he's been a great sponsor on my other show. But I'll be getting those, and I will be getting probably straps for the strap locks here. Beside that, though, I mean, Gotha tuners, these things are not, or Grover tuners. Are these Gothas or Grovers? Grover tuners, great tuners. They keep things in tune. Awesome stuff. I kind of think I might put a rolling nut up here. A rolling nut, for those of you who don't know, is this guy here, a nut. A nut, like me. But this thing here can be replaced with a block that has ball bearings that you grease up. Basically, this forms the string ride. So the string ride comes from the base part of the bridge to the saddles on the bridge, up and around to the nut and then to the tuners, and it helps your intonation. Helps keep things crisp and clean and having the same notes as you fret down. So again, frets here, fret spaces here. You change the tone for the sound to make music. Let's see what else I got here. Again, I'm showcasing this because I have to stop talking about politics and slop for 5 minutes. So, Shad, this is for you, homegirl. Now, I also have an ukulele. This thing has been through the ringer. I did do a really backwater repair on this and added a guitar tuner to it. This ukulele, I think it's an Oscar Schmidt. I got this, I think, for a trade with someone. and it was missing the tuning peg. And I happened to have a cheapo guitar tuner on it, so I added that. It's acoustic electric, it works well. I don't know how to play it that well, and I know it's not in tune. It hangs in one of the garage, in one of the alcoves in my house. It hangs instruments. In my house, I have guitar hangers and instrument hangers, like that one's up on, in a lot of places. You walk into my front room, you're seeing at least 4 or 5 guitars. There's a closet as you walk into the hallway that has 4 or 5 instruments, plus a gaggle of instruments in there. That closet is actually an open space. It used to be a phone booth, an old-fashioned phone booth, so there's no door. It would just be where the phone would be. But we don't use that because it's 2026 almost. So we, futurize things. Moving on. This is another guitar from my buddy that passed away. I've been playing this one a little bit. It's actually probably still in tune. It's a Jasmine. These are nice. Not a bad sound. I don't usually use acoustics with the cutaway. I prefer the full dreadnought, but it's what it is. And this sounds good. Jasmines always seem to make pretty decent guitars. Has good intonation. Great guitar. Also, my late buddy Brian's guitar. So that goes to my kids. That's what he would have wanted. Now, also from my late buddy Brian, before he passed away, he gave this specifically to me. It was one of his first guitars, this Ibanez X series. I have a lot of work to do on this guitar. And I mean a lot of work to do on this guitar. I need to rebuild the body because these bodies are not made the way you would expect a guitar to be built. You want a solid wood body. This is not. I had to already repair it and glue it. You get no continuation of tuning and any kind of intonation on this guitar. Added springs to the bridge, etc. But I'm going to rebuild and mold a body exactly like this. I don't know that I can find the paint job though. So I will save this body because it's part of this relic to me. I will upgrade all of the electronics. I'll teach my kids how to do it. Probably DiMarzio pickups. Might even channel out for a Floyd Rose, but I don't know. I might just keep the rest of it normal. But the neck is fine. I want to run it that way. Maybe put an ivory nut on this one. And locking tuners. Schaller makes some really good locking tuners. But in memory of Brian, I want to make sure I save as much of it as possible. Speaking of which, we have a bass guitar to look at now. That was also his. That I am repairing for my brother. He even has this Yo MTV Sucks sticker on it. I have to maintain this thing as it is. It needs a new potentiometer here, tone control, and new wiring and to be cleaned up thoroughly. I just do not want to ruin this sticker because it's something Brian left on there. When you repair an instrument for someone else, or if you are inheriting an instrument and you want to maintain the life and value of it, it isn't about how it sounds all the time because the sound is in your fingertips and in your brain. You figure out how to make it sound good. But remembering what it stood for, who it was that had it, and the life that touched it, that's an important part of music too. You have to remember these things. You have to embrace what's going on and what was, learn to use it, and grow from there. In my opinion, that's just my opinion, guys. Maybe I'm waxing nostalgic too much. I don't know. Now, I have a few other instruments here to show you. Quite a few, actually. This Jackson was a birthday gift from my brother. Gave this to me a few years ago for my birthday. I've always loved Jackson guitars, Jackson Charvels, especially the old ones, the 80s ones. This is, it's not the highest end, but you know what? This thing shreds because I can make it shred. Great guitar. Also, bought from Manitoba's Two Street Music. Not by me, but by my brother for me as a gift. This thing is great. The Jackson pickups in this are tight. The dynamics can work really, really well. I'm a big Ibanez guy, but Jackson Charvel, hell to the yeah. Now I know, living in Humboldt County, you would think I'd be a huge Moonstone guitar fan. I don't have one. I've never played one, so I don't know. I'm sure they're amazing. I'm sure they all did a great job making them. I've never gotten to play one. The ones I have heard are amazing. So if you have a Moonstone guitar you're trying to like toss or get rid of, or it's broken, hit me up. I'll fix it. I might play it for a little bit, and if you want it back after I fix it, fine. I'll cry a little bit probably if it's good. Okay, enough of that. But yeah, so lots of instruments. I still have. There's a classical guitar I'm building, another Strat that I'm building over there. I got to fix that acoustic up there. I have another Jackson almost just like this, but a different color that my neighbor gave me to fix. I'm working on. So yeah, music, big deal. A lot of instruments. I still have a gaggle of instruments in my house because, the guy with the most wins, right? The most stress, obviously. Now, I have been collecting guitars as soon as I can get one. I started collecting guitars and instruments. My peak was 37 guitars and instruments, aside from that, separately. And what I would do is I was really involved in my church. So if someone wanted to learn to play an instrument, I'd give it to them. Someone's like, hey, I want to learn to play guitar. Well, I would go and find guitars in the garbage can or at the dump or whatever. If I saw them, I'd buy them for cheap or take them because they just were tossing them. I'd barter with people and I'd fix them up. And if someone couldn't afford an instrument and they had the great desire to play, I'd make sure they had a guitar or a drum set or a piano. I fixed a couple organs before. That's a real tussle, fixing organs. You got to learn some stuff about electronics there that you never thought you'd learn. Kinky. Anyway, that's a joke. But yeah, so anyway, that's a part of my collection. So Shad, this is for you. I hope you're watching. It's a nice break from the politics and the slop tube. It's nice just to talk about instruments. If you're a musician, or you want to learn to be a musician, or you have any desire at all to figure out how to play things, let me know in the comments. Please let me know because I'm happy to help you if I can. Maybe I can guide you to a good resource. But let me know. Do not hesitate because honestly, music is at your fingertips. Every culture in the world likes music to a degree. They use music for something. Most of it comes from a very deep emotional place, a spiritual place. You hear chanting, incantations, things like that, drumming. Music's important. It makes you happy. It makes you sad. It hits all the emotions, and it helps you escape the mundanity. Mundanity? The mundaneness? What is this word? Why did my English fail me suddenly? But it helps you escape the normalcy of life and the stress that you endeavor. And it helps you be you. More openly, even quietly. You don't have to do it in public. You can just enjoy it. Anyway, I'm Moo Juice Magic. I love you in the face, and please let me know what you think in the comments down on the YouTube channel. Like, follow, share, subscribe, and tell me what you want to learn to play. Maybe I can hook you up with someone that can teach you. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.